I found my mom's secret diary. A My Story animated, MSA style story. Chapter 1. The Diary That Changed Everything. Have you ever discovered something that completely changed the way you saw your family? I did. It happened on a rainy Saturday, just 3 months after my mom passed away. My name is Emma, and I was 16 when my whole world fell apart. Losing mom was the hardest thing I'd ever experienced. She had always been my best friend, the person who knew exactly what to say whenever life became too overwhelming. After the funeral, Dad buried himself in work while I buried myself in memories. One afternoon, Dad asked me to help clean out Mom's old study. Most of the room was filled with ordinary things: books, old photographs, recipe cards, and dusty boxes. Then I noticed a small wooden chest hidden behind a stack of blankets. Inside was a leather-bound notebook. On the cover, written in elegant handwriting, were 4 simple words: "For my eyes only." My heart raced. I knew I shouldn't open it. But curiosity won. That was the biggest mistake, or maybe the greatest discovery of my life. Chapter 2. A Mother I Never Knew. The first few pages were ordinary. Mom wrote about gardening, cooking, family vacations, funny things I had said as a little girl. I smiled through tears. Then everything changed. One entry read, "Emma asked me today why she has curly black hair while both her father and I have brown straight hair. I told her she simply inherited it from distant relatives. I hate lying to her." I froze. What lie? I kept reading. The next pages became darker. Mom wrote about crying herself to sleep, about fearing the truth, about keeping a promise she wished she had never made. Every page left me with more questions than answers. Then I reached an entry dated 16 years earlier. It said, "Today I became a mother, not by giving birth, but by making the most important promise of my life." I stopped breathing. Not by giving birth? What did that mean? Chapter 3. The Secret. I turned the page with shaking hands. Mom explained everything. When she was 30, she volunteered at a hospital after a terrible highway accident. A young woman had survived long enough to give birth to a baby girl. Then she died. She had no identification, no relatives. No one came looking for the baby. Months later, after every legal effort failed to locate the family, Mom and Dad adopted the little girl. That baby was me. My entire life, I believed I was their biological daughter. I wasn't. The diary explained why they had hidden the truth. They wanted me to feel loved, not different. They feared I would think I wasn't truly theirs. By now, tears covered the pages. Everything I thought I knew about myself suddenly felt uncertain. Who was I? Who were my real parents? Had they ever loved me? Chapter 4. The Last Letter. Near the end of the diary, an envelope was taped inside. It simply read, "Open this only if you discover my diary." My hands trembled. Inside was a handwritten letter. "My sweet Emma, if you're reading this, then I am no longer beside you. I never wanted you to learn the truth from anyone else. Yes, you were adopted. But please never believe for 1 second that you were unwanted. Your birth mother gave everything she had to bring you into this world. She loved you with her final breath. And from the moment your father and I held you, we loved you with every breath afterward. Biology creates life. Love creates family." I couldn't stop crying. But there was one more surprise. At the bottom of the letter was a name, a lawyer, and a note. "When you're ready, visit him." Chapter 5. The Final Twist. A week later, Dad drove me to the lawyer's office. He admitted he had never known Mom had written the diary. The lawyer handed me a small envelope. Inside was a DNA report, along with a letter from investigators. Years after my adoption, they had finally identified my birth mother. She had been an elementary school teacher. Her parents had passed away years before. She truly had no living relatives. There was no hidden family searching for me. No wealthy grandparents. No long-lost siblings. Nothing. Except one final item. A tiny silver necklace that had been found around her neck the day she died. The lawyer smiled. My mother kept this safe all these years because your mom asked her to. The necklace had two tiny hearts. One heart was empty. The other contained a tiny picture. Not of my birth mother. Not of my father. But of my mom. She had quietly replaced the original photo years ago. She wanted me to carry her with me forever, even after she was gone. At that moment, I finally understood. Family isn't the people who share your blood. It's the people who choose you every single day. Ending. I still visit Mom's grave every month. I bring fresh flowers. Sometimes I read pages from her diary aloud. Not because I miss the woman who adopted me, but because I miss the woman who chose to become my mother. And honestly, I think that's an even greater kind of love. The end.